I stand corrected. Well, actually, I guess I am sitting, so I sit corrected. I'm not going to go right on to step 2 just yet. There is something else that I did want to share with you before we go on. And that is here under properties, this little file called launch settings, right? You should be aware of what's in here, because here are all the settings for how the app launches under different protocols. So for example, here's HTTP, HTTPS, are you using IIS Express and so on. So it sets the different parameters of how the project will run, the URLs to be used, ports, et cetera, right? Okay. And you notice the launch URL is set to Swagger. So it'll use the application URL / the launch URL. Now, just to kind of show you how this is working a little bit, let me come in here. Just for HTTP, I'll change it from Swagger to API / patient. Might spell it correctly as well. There we go. So I'll run it again now, just with HTTP. Oh, what happened there? Ah, HTTP, okay. All right, there we go. I hadn't saved it. I apologize. All right, so you see we bypassed Swagger altogether, right? And we have it up here, just going directly to, just give me the data, just the API itself, right? Okay, but if I were to run this under HTTPS, not surprisingly, once more, I should see our familiar looking by now Swagger interface, right? Okay. So that just kind of shows you that the launch settings, usually we would have whatever we put the launch URL, we'd have it the same for all of them, right? I just wanted to show you it being different for differences between HTTP and HTTPS. But the launch settings can be important to be aware of as well. And yeah, so we can just delete that weather boarded stuff here, the weather forecast controller and all the code related to it. We don't need that anymore whatsoever. But you know, while this is running, I think it's probably worthwhile before we go on, right, in Swagger, to have a quick look at some of the other actions. So, you know, this is nothing really surprising. I can pass in the ID of one particular patient and then see that patient, right? Again, with the doctor included, that's how we set it up with the .include. So no mystery there, and we've already done the by doctor to get all patients for a given doctor. But we have these other ones, post, put, and delete, right? So to try them out, okay, we're going to need some parameters, right? So basically, we have to build the request body. Okay. So I did my my get for the one patient. So I'm coming in here to post now. Now post is an insert, right? So if I click try it out, then I can actually edit this information, okay? So I don't actually even need the ID because it will be generated for me. I can take that out. First name, well, you know what? It's probably easier for me if I take the existing record and just make some modifications here. I can also just put 0 here, and that should work as well. Barney Rubble, I'll change the last name to Rubble. The OHIP number. Remember, we can't have duplicate OHIP numbers, but I'll leave that so we can see the error. Date of birth, I can leave for now. Expected yearly visits, I don't know, let's make that 6. Row version, I can leave that, it doesn't matter. Or I don't even actually need to supply it on an insert, so I can take it out, right? Doctor ID 2. Now, here, the doctor object, in this case, if you're inserting a new patient, we wouldn't normally include the doctor object in the patient that we insert. So I can actually completely take out the doctor object. I need the foreign key, the ID, right? So yeah, I can leave it as doctor ID 2. And that should be fine. Now, except, of course, I'm having a duplicate OHIP number here, so I should get an error message about that. So let's try it. I'll execute, come down here, right? So here's the basic feedback we got. Oh, status code 400. Okay, response status is 400. I got a I got a trailing comma at the end, which is not supported, right? Okay. The patient field is required. Yeah, all right. So I messed up. That trailing comma is a problem. There we go. That's good. All right, I'll execute again. Okay. All right, unique constraint failed. Patient OHIP, right? Good. So this is error code 500. That's our response code, right? And so in our data, we actually have the information coming right from the database. Unique constraint failed, patients.ohip. Good. So let me change the OHIP number. I'll guess that even changing one digit should probably work. Did I change 2 digits? Let me try. Okay. Field OHIP must be within the length of 10. Yeah, I've got too many digits. Arr! I am really messing up here, aren't I? That's okay. You're learning from my being silly. Let me try that now. I took out a digit. Look at that. 201. Yeah, success. Okay. So in the response body, there's the newly generated ID, okay, 175. That's the ID of my new Barney Rubbled patient. Has a new OHIP number. Same birth date, but that doesn't matter, right? And still assigned to Dr. ID 2. There we go. So if I want to now, I could come back. Let me just shrink this down. Let's go get, what was the number again? 175, right? So I can get specifically patient ID 175. And there we are. So there's all the details, okay, including all the doctor details as well. I'll just copy that to the clipboard. Let's try a put. A put is a update, basically. So let's click try it out. It is 175. We have to provide that separately. And then here, I'll put my copy of the record. Now, I won't change the ID, right? But maybe the middle name. I'm going to give Barney a middle name of Joe. Oh, I better put quotes around it to satisfy the serialization, right? Middle name is Joe. I'm not changing the OHIP number. That's fine. Let's change, of course, again, I'll just take out the doctor, right? But let's change the doctor as well. We're going to give Barney Rubbled to Dr. ID 1 instead. Better have that space back in there. So let's try executing this update command. And good, we got a, oh no, error, status code 400, validation error, trailing comma at the end, darn. Look at how bad I am. Second time I made that mistake. Fortunately, we almost always use a client for this application, so we don't manually have to edit the JSON like this very often. There we go. We got a 204 code, so we've updated the record, right? And that's it. So if I go back now, get for 175, okay? Again, here's the old version. It's still there, right? If I execute now, here's my revised version of my new record, Barney Rubbled. The middle name is changed to Joe, and it's Dr. Gregory House. We changed the doctor. Excellent. All good. Okay. All righty. Super. Well, one more thing just to show you trying out. Delete. We added a new patient. So I click try it out. Let's try deleting patient 175. Click execute. Of course, that's all we need for delete is the primary key identifier. And there we go. We have a success status code. And that's it. They should be gone. So if I go back, repeat my get for 175, execute that one again, not found. All right, perfect. So we've just demonstrated how we can use Swagger to do everything, including an insert, an update, and a delete. So we have all of our get actions. And yeah. So that finishes that demo. Kind of neat, eh?